Namaste dosto! Raj Kapoor and Dilip Kumar are legendary Bollywood actors and film producers. Both were born and raised in 1920s in Peshawar, Undivided India, and their houses are just a few minutes walk from each other. And because I'm a huge Bollywood and Hindi cinema fan, I went to present-day Pakistan to visit. Let's start here at the famous Qissa Khwani Bazaar, also known as the Storytellers Market. It's not surprising that they're both from here, because in the old days this was an entertainment hub. Before radio, people would come to this market and sip on Qewa, also known as green tea, and listen to storytellers. The green tea is still here, and I drank a lot of it and hung out a lot here, but the storytellers, because of technology, are now gone. My first stop was here, Raj Kapoor's Haveli. It was built between 1918 and 1922 by Kapoor's grandfather, who was a police officer. His son, Prithviraj Kapoor, became one of Hindi cinema's first big stars, and then his son, Raj Kapoor, was born here in 1924. He too went on to become one of India's most loved stars. It runs in the family, and today we have Ranbir Kapoor. The family returned to Peshawar often until they sold the house a few years before partition. Since a young age, I've loved India, so I first found out about Raj Kapoor when I took a Bollywood paper at the University of Auckland. We watched Awaara, and that's when I became his fan. So if you're a foreigner, do not miss the Bollywood classics, because they have a lot more substance than most modern Bollywood. And if you agree with that, let me know in the comments, which Bollywood classic film would you recommend that a foreigner watches first? While I was able to visit the outside of the house, it's in such poor condition that you can't enter. It's too dangerous. The whole thing is just crumbling. And we'll talk about the condition of both properties soon, because it's both shocking and sad. Next, I asked a lot of locals for the directions to Dilip Kumar's house. It was not easy to find. It's hidden down a little gully. But luckily, one kind man walked me right to the front door and then asked if I wanted a tea. People here in Peshawar are extremely proud of their ancestors, and they also told me that Shah Rukh Khan's father is from here too. Dilip Kumar's house was built by his father, who was a fruit merchant. They relocated to Mumbai, and his father sold the house in 1930 for 5,000 rupees. Kumar visited in 1988. He was going to return again in 1997 because he was getting an award from the government, but he couldn't because large crowds had gathered in anticipation of his arrival. As you can see, his house is caved in. It's very sad that these two icons' houses are in this condition. It's painful for Indians and Pakistanis to see. According to news reports, the government of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa is restoring both houses and turning them into museums. And they did step in to stop the owner of Kapoor's house from demolishing it to turn it into a shopping mall. Both houses have also been given protected monument status in 2014, so that's good. But, with the poor diplomatic relationship between India and Pakistan's economic and political instability, who knows when this shared heritage will be saved. Once it is, I'll return and I'll show you what's been done.